Hey guys, welcome back to Attack on Titan World, your E3 edition. We're on floor 1 of Arcadia, okay? We're doing the Arcadia. I said we'd do it next time, or I said I think we'd do it next time. And in any case, I've decided to do it. And we're very low level, obviously, we just started it, so brand new thing. But this is going to be, probably going to be a pretty long one. This is going to go pretty much through my thoughts on E3 as an entirety. Maybe next year I'll do one of these after each press conference. Maybe not. I don't know. I honestly, God, I have no idea how I'll do it next year because that's a fucking year away, you know. So, but let's have a look, shall we? So, the E3 conferences, they're over now. They're over. I've had quite a sleep deprived past couple of days. The press conferences are all at stupid times if you live in the UK. It's not stupid times if you live in LA, of course, but here they were kind of weird positions. Anyway, let's go through it bit by bit. Okay, we'll do it because like I did for my hopes and dreams sort of section, and some dreams came true. Some weird dreams came true, which I never thought I actually would see, but here we go. So, EA, okay? EA. Starting off EA. Overall, their show was not good. Their show was bad. They didn't really have anything. They didn't really have anything to show us, right? And I've not written down every single game that they showed. I've not written down every single game that every company showed in my notes because I didn't want to. Like, last time, I think we went through every single game that was announced, and it took, like, 3 hours. So hopefully I'm going to cut that in half by only talking about the ones that I thought were somewhat interesting to me, okay? So, Battlefield 5, is it? Battlefield? Well, I don't know, whatever. The new Battlefield, World War II, showed itself. Nothing really of interest. Just that there's no loot boxes, no premium pass, and that was the first indication that the E3 crowd will cheer for anything. It's like, and we're not ripping you off, and everyone's like, yay, yeah, you're not screwing us. It's like, oh, okay, don't cheer for that, but okay. I mean, shit. I guess you can celebrate the fact that you're not being screwed over, but they shouldn't really be screwing you in the first place. The only game that was of super note, right? The thing that I was really interested in, and actually looked really cool out of EA, was Sea of Solitude. And the woman who came up and was talking about it, I forgot her name, I didn't write it down. I think she was the writer of it, or the lead designer of it, or maybe both, in fact, actually. But you could tell that she was very passionate. She was very nervous. I don't think she ever expected to be up on stage like that talking about her game, and it came across very genuine. She was very happy with it, and she was just chuffed to be up there and talking about her video game. And she had a very cool game. Sea of Solitude focuses on loneliness and about that sort of stuff. I kind of relate to that as well, so I really kind of invested in that. And it looks cute. It looks great. There's like a little monster girl or a monster woman who's trying to turn back into being a human, you know, because of her loneliness has turned her into this monster, and like it's about her running away from her own, sorting out her own fears as well as sorting other stuff out with her own life, and like going through this on this little boat and stuff. It looks really cool. It was really cool, and I think I'm excited to play that. They showed off. Now, they came out, and this was damn right disgusting, okay? I was really upset about this. So they showed a mobile game for Command and Conquer, right? They come out with Command and Conquer. You know, the second somebody had mentioned Command and Conquer, I sat up because I'm a big fan of Command and Conquer games. And of course it was a mobile game, and they shoutcasted it for some reason. And they had these two people come out, and they were playing this game, and it was just boring. Like, you had to move your dudes to certain little places to like charge a missile, and it was a betrayal, man. I was like, I can't believe the time we see as it back, we see it back in action. We see Command and Conquer, and it's a fucking mobile game, like, and a boring looking one at that. It was really upsetting. Like to be honest, it's out now. It's out now, so you can go play it. I've not bothered because I don't want to. I might do just because I feel like if I'm gonna fucking shit on it, I should probably at least try it out. But I want a proper Command and Conquer, and it just doesn't exist, and it's at this rate probably never gonna exist. And then they showed off Anthem. Anthem, I'm still in the same opinion of Anthem. I don't think it's going to be any good. I don't think it looks any good. It looks very, very pretty, and I love BioWare. I love BioWare to pieces. Yes, I am slightly salty that it's still not another Dragon Age that they're working on. It's this new Anthem game. It just doesn't look very good. It doesn't require you to play multiplayer, but it kind of insists on it. It highly recommends you playing it in cooperatively, and that's not my sort of BioWare want experience, and that's gonna come up. That's gonna come up later as well. That exact same situation, and it just means that Anthem's not for me. I can see a lot of people are gonna play Anthem, and a lot of people are gonna love it. Because it does look like a beautiful game, and it does look like a game that a lot of people would get very into. I just don't think it's for me. And maybe I'll play it at some point, but I'm not going to be paying 50 quid for a game that I just don't think doesn't look interesting. You can paint your suits, I guess, which is great. There's no loot boxes. Again, I think EA not learnt their lesson, perhaps, but they've learned to hide the microtransactions better. They said that there will still be microtransactions. You will know what you're purchasing. So I'm assuming there's just going to be a straight up purchase store where you can purchase skins and stuff like that, like miniature DLCs, and that's kind of irritating to me. It should all just be in there. I think we're either spending too much money on game development, or they're just straight up ripping us off. It's not acceptable. You can make a great game and turn a profit without attempting to screw us over and grate every pound out of our wallet, and I don't know, but that rubbed me the wrong way. Like I said, the game looks fine. The game looks like, I'm sure people are gonna really, really love it. I just know I'm not gonna. I just know it's not gonna be my thing. But I can see a lot of people getting into it. Xbox come up with next. It was the next day. Xbox was interesting because I didn't hate it. Xbox. I usually I'm like, fuck's sake, really Xbox, really Xbox, really Xbox. This time I was like, okay. I was like actually kind of interested. They still didn't make me want to buy a console, but they had some cool stuff. For starters, why is their stage so many screens? Their stage had like a million screens on it, and they used 8 of them. I don't know what the situation there was, but they had a lot of monitors. They had a lot of monitor situation going on. They started off their show with Halo Infinite. Halo is not a game that's going to make me purchase an Xbox to play it, but I do like Halo. I like Halo enough, I guess. So another one of those is always fun, I guess, and people really, really like them. Then came a game that really piqued my interest, which was, I'm not sure how to pronounce the first one, Sekio or something, but it's Shadows Die Twice, which is the From Software's new game. And it's, from what I could tell, we couldn't really tell much from the situation, but it was kind of like a Japanese, like a Japanese Dark Souls, you know, like that's what it seemed like to me. So I don't. Again, we don't really know so much about it still. It was only a very short trailer, but it seemed very much like that, and there was a resurrection mechanic inside the gameplay. So and that's kind of been From Software's move of late, is to do a Dark Souls game. So I'm looking very excited for this. It's not it's not Bloodborne 2, but I'm excited for it. I wish that it was still Bloodborne 2, but at the same time, this could be very interesting, and I think it could even have like a similar style to that game, to Bloodborne, in the fact that your arm gets chopped off, or at the beginning of the game, or your samurai guy has no left arm or something, and it's replaced with this like robot like prosthetic arm, and I think that might operate the same way as like the Switch weapons do. So you'll always have a katana, and then you'll be able to make a new arm that is like a Switch weapon from the Bloodborne series. That's the way it looked like it could work to me. I'm not saying that is definitely the way. Don't take that as like confirmed, but I do think that's how it's possibly going to work, and I'm quite excited for that. From Software really nailing it of late, and I think that's probably more than likely going to continue, you know? So what was after that thing? After that, the next thing I've got written down was Fallout 76. Now, I'm going to skip past that, because I'm going to talk about Fallout 76 when we get to the Bethesda thing instead. Okay, but they did show Fallout 76. They showed Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 is a game that I think Crackdown games have always been very, very average, very kind of. They're fun to play, but what the fuck is happening here? They're like fun to play, but no one takes them too seriously. No one's waiting with bated breath for the release of Crackdown 3, you know. Now, and I can't think of the bloke's name. I think his name actually might be Terry for some reason. I feel like that might actually be his name. But the actor who plays Sergeant Terry in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like the face of Crackdown 3, and I love him. I love that guy. He's hilarious to me, and I'm so happy that he's in these adverts, because these adverts are so good. But yes, so that's it. We didn't really see anything else. We just know that it's existing. It's coming at the beginning of next year, I think. So get excited for that, I guess. If you really like the Crackdown games, you might be able to actually play Crackdown 3 at this point. You know, we thought it might just end up getting cancelled or something. Then they showed off Forza 4. Forza Horizon 4, should I say. Now, I was kind of shocked, actually, that it even was 4. Like, wow, we're on Horizon 4 already? Like, Horizon Zero Dawn. Fallout Horizon 4, like, that's crazy. We're already on number 4, that's insane. But yes, apparently we're already on 4. I did not know that, but apparently that's where we're at, and it looked good. It's based in Britain, of all places, and it has this interesting season mode where the seasons will change the environment. Like, all the leaves will fall off, and then it'll get winter, and then in the winter you can drive on the lakes because they all froze over and stuff like that. Having an actual winter in Britain and having an actual summer in Britain is a joke to begin with, by the way. So that's kind of unrealistic, I guess. But it's actually very interesting that they actually did that, and I quite liked that. I quite liked it. It was pretty good. Right, what was next? After that, oh yes, here we go, guys. All right, the dream, the fucking dream. Never did I mention it in my. I always secretly hoped in my wildest dreams that we would actually see this. But Microsoft revealed Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition. Tales of Vesperia is my favorite Tales games. It's what made me fall in love with Tales games. It's what made me want to play every single one of them. It's, you know, it's super important to me, and I love that game. And there it was on the Microsoft stand of all places, and they were saying, "Yep, Tales of Vesperia, the remastered. Here we go. It's for everything. It's for Xbox, for PlayStation 4, for the Nintendo Switch, for PC. It's everywhere." And like, wow, just wow. I can't actively believe that we're there. You know, I've got it. I've got the thing that I've been asking for, the thing I've been wanting. So I was like, that's fantastic. That's crazy. And then they showed off the Division 2, and they had like a little bit of a gameplay, a little bit of gameplay, or was it actually? Sorry, I might be mixing these up. I might be mixing up the thing. We can talk about the Division. We can talk about the Division now. Fuck it, we'll talk about the Division now. So the Division was also at Ubisoft's thing. I'm just looking through my notes. It was also at Ubisoft's, and Ubisoft showed it off as well. It looks not bad. I don't know. It's the gameplay trailer that was shown was cringy. You know, it was the people pretending to be friends, doing the fake like combat sort of situation, as we are used to seeing from E3 nowadays. It's completely fake and horrible looking, and it's really, really cringy. But it's there. It shows off the game, it shows how the fighting works, and it wasn't too bad. It looks quite interesting. I think I'll probably give Division 2 a go. I liked the Division 1, I guess, from a combat perspective, but I disliked it from everything else. I don't know, Division, it wasn't very well built, but it's back. Once you beat the main scenario, you can get classes in that game now. There's going to be classes, 3 different types, and depending on your type, you get access to a certain type of weapon. I think if it was like if you were a sharpshooter, you got a sniper rifle. If you were a hunter, you got a crossbow. I think if you were I can't remember what the other one was, I'm sorry. But the other one, you got like a grenade launcher. And you can pick one of those once you beat the main scenario. And raids are coming to the Division 2. And I'm happy that raids are coming, but at the same time, like, shocked. Shocked that, like, we're actually getting raids finally? Like, what the fuck? Shouldn't we have had raids from the fucking beginning? Like, shouldn't number 1 have had raids? Like, that sounds kind of crazy to me. But anyway, then Microsoft went and showed off Tomb Raider, and Square Enix showed off Tomb Raider as well. Tomb Raider looks good. It looks about as good as the other Tomb Raiders did. I wouldn't say it looked any better or any worse than the other Tomb Raiders. So if you like the first 2, this one's going to be right up your alley. I'm pretty excited to start playing it, I guess. Then they showed off Devil May Cry, right? But not any normal Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 5. And that's huge. That's huge. A lot of us thought that was dead. You know, we thought that was donezo. We ain't ever gonna see that again, sort of situation. It's never returning. You know, we're stuck with this new Dante, which me myself personally, I don't mind. I personally do not actually mind the new Dante. I don't mind the new game. I think the new game is great. But I do see that people love the old Dante and they want to keep the old Dante. So I get it. I don't understand the unnecessary hate for that game, but I understand wanting to keep a character you love the same. I understand that much, at the very least. But they showed off Devil May Cry 5. The main character is Nero from Devil May Cry 4, which, unpopular opinion, Devil May Cry 4 is my favorite Devil May Cry. And because I love Nero with his demon arm and stuff. His demon arm looks like it's been cut off or removed in the trailers, and been replaced by it with a prosthetic. Similar, we've had this kind of conversation before. He's also lost an arm, and he's also got a prosthetic arm now, and it can do like grapple hooks and explodies and stuff. And he's settling a score, I guess, and with whoever cut his arm off, which could maybe be Virgil, maybe not be Virgil, who knows. But there he is, and the Dante was shown. Excuse me, Jesus. And Dante was shown right at the end. Right at the end of that, so I guess Dante will be in it to some regard. After that, they showed Cuphead, a Cuphead expansion, I believe it was. I think it was Cuphead 2, and they showed that you can be a lady Cuphead, which is pretty fucking cool. I've not even played the original Cuphead yet. I want to play that at some point. And then they showed off Battletoads. Didn't actually see any gameplay. Didn't see nothing. We just saw a logo and it was just Battletoads had been announced. That's crazy. Fucking Battletoads. I bet that made a hell of a lot of people fucking sit up in their chairs. A lot of people were like interested in that, Battletoads. It's a 2.5D game, so it's going to be like a third dimensional game, but it's going to be on a 2D plane. So that's very exciting. That's going to be very, very cool, I think. And then they showed off Just Cause 4. Like, Just Cause 4? Just Cause 3 was a nightmare. It was terrible. Just Cause 2 was okay back when it released. I guess. I don't really remember number 2 all that much. I remember enjoying it, though. Like, I remember enjoying Just Cause 2. So hopefully Just Cause 4 is back on the run, back on the move to a good situation. That tornadoes can form now in this new area, and like you can use the tornadoes to like fly out through the air and stuff, and like just cause destruction and stuff. So that's somewhat interesting. Sorry, I gotta look through my notes here. Don't want that piece of paper anymore. Right, here we go. And then they showed off Gears. Right, they brought out Gears of War, and that got people very excited. A lot of people started screaming and shouting, and then that was immediately crushed. Everybody sat back down. Nobody was excited because the next thing to come out of their mouth was pop. Gears of War, pop figures, and a mobile game to do with the pop figures. Everybody was crushed. Nobody cared. Then they came out with Gears of War Tactics, or Gears Tactics. And it's like an XCOM-esque game. But with Gears of War. And hell yes, I'm fucking down for that. I want a Gears of War game that's like fucking XCOM. That sounds fucking awesome. So they showed that a little bit off of that. Not too much, just a very, very little bit. And then they went into showing off Gears of War 5. That made everybody, once again, sit up in their chairs and perk up. Was Gears of War 5. It looks fine, I guess. I don't know, I've not played a Gears of War since Gears of War 3, and there's been a couple of spin-offs since then. I have no idea. I guess Gears of War. I kind of miss playing Gears of War, if I'm honest with you. I wish if I had an Xbox One, I would definitely buy that like HD collection and play through them again, because the Gears of War games were quite fun. I remember having a good time with those. When they were originally releasing on the 360, I remember having quite a good time. But that was it for the oh no, sorry. Right at the end, just before they were saying goodbye, and the monitors got hacked. Right, they're like air quotes hacked. And it turned out to be Cyberpunk. Is it 2077 or something? I don't know. Anyway, Cyberpunk, which is Red CD's new game, the people who make The Witcher. So the people who make The Witcher have got this new game coming out called Cyberpunk. We've known this for a while now, that they've been working on Cyberpunk, but we've never really seen anything from it. Where the hell is Mara? I want Mara. I don't know, fuck it. Oh, Mara's there. We've used Mara. Oh, we can't use that because of silence. Son of a bitch. Son of a... So yeah, but so they show off Cyberpunk. It looked nice, looked like an interesting world. Other than that, they had nothing to show us, so I'm not excited about that yet. Because they really didn't have anything to show us. They didn't show us any gameplay or anything. So a lot of people have a lot of ideas of how it's going to work. A lot of people were saying it's going to be The Witcher, but just just in Cyberpunk mode, and I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's true. I think it's going to be different in some regard, at least. But then that was it. They closed the show, and we had to wait until Bethesda's showcase. Now, Bethesda had had a couple of highs, and then some really lows. So they started off with a live band, and this happened a lot through the shows, actually. Ubisoft, PlayStation, they all had live bands and live orchestra, which is fun to do, I guess, and I shouldn't really complain, as it's like fun to watch, and it's just not a part of the conversation we're trying to have. We're there to see the games and talk about the video games that are coming out, and we've got these live bands performing, and it just seems weird. Like I said, I shouldn't really complain because it's fun, but that's not why we're there, and that kind of annoys me in a weird way. But they had a live performance for Rage 2, which they were very good. They put on a very good show. Rage 2, I actually remember enjoying the first Rage, so I'm not heartbroken about Rage 2. I know a few people are kind of like, oh, don't really care about Rage 2, but I think it might be fun. Rage 1 was definitely fun, and they showed off a gameplay trailer which looked quite good. It skipped a few bits, but it looks like a very very colourful shooter, which Bethesda seems to be doing a lot of these days with with Doom that showed up afterwards, which we didn't see anything, and with Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein, which is another DLC pack for Wolfenstein 2. Called Young Blood, and you go far into the future, and spoilers, by the way, for Wolfenstein. You are going to be playing as the main character's children, is 2 twin baby girls. So that's like the plot of it, and you'll be playing as them, and the entire game can be played in co-op. So I guess that's fun if you're into the co-op situation. I didn't finish Wolfenstein 2. The first Wolfenstein I thought was quite fun, and I finished that one. But the second Wolfenstein, I kind of got bored halfway through. I don't think I was feeling the shooter genre at the time. I just kind of got off of it, and I was like, no, I'm not really interested, and lost interest and stopped playing. But let's talk about the most important things that come out of Bethesda, okay? So, Fallout 76. Fallout 76. This has been quite the topic in games of late, because people have been wondering what Fallout 76 is going to be. Some people were saying a Battle Royale, which would be insane and stupid. Some people were saying survival like Rust. Some people were saying like it's going to be an actual proper game. And it turns out it's a online game that you play like a softcore survival, I guess. So it's like Rust, basically. And you play with people, and there's nuclear codes that you can nuke people and stuff like that. If you like survival, I would say go check it out. Every NPC in the game, because you're one of the very first people to leave the vault, right? You're one of the very, very, very first vaults to open. So there's no humans left, right? So you're the first people out there. And I think it's about meant to be like you building these settlements with your friends, or alone if you like, I guess. You can play the entire game alone, but there's no real plot as far as I can tell. It's all about this survival thing, and there's no real anything, it's just you leave the vault, and then you're in this wide open world, and you have to kill people, and they're all real, right? There's no NPCs, because all the NPCs are actual people. It's not the worst way to go for Fallout game. It makes sense to me. if you're gonna have an online Fallout game to do this sort of thing instead of an MMO or something, like I think this makes a lot of sense. But I don't know, it's just not my thing. Like, I don't like those Rust games. I think those Rust games are a lot more interesting to watch in my perspective. That like when people do Let's Plays of like Rust or Conan or what's the other one called? The dinosaur one, Ark. You know, when people do like Let's Plays, that sort of stuff, I can see the enjoyment of it and I get it, but those games are not for me. Again, this is the same situation as with Anthem, right? Is that I prefer my Fallout games solo. I prefer to play them in that sort of environment, and that's just the way I like them. And that's fine, you know, Fallout can be multiple things, and it's fine that this exists. This is just not the Fallout for me, right? It's so I don't know. It's going to be pretty weird. It's 4 times the size. Oops, sorry, I dropped my notes. It's 4 times the size of Fallout 4, which, quite frankly, shouldn't be too hard, I guess. Fallout 4 was very, very small. It takes place in West Virginia, if that means anything to you guys. And you can play it solo, but again, there's no real point. There's no real point to playing it solo because you won't have any quests or anything to do, right? Like, as far as I'm aware. You can still scavenge and build a base, I guess. You just can't do anything else. I don't really know, but that's about it, really, you know? So that's upsetting. That was upsetting about Fallout 76. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be an actual game. Because I like playing Fallout. I like Fallout a lot. But yeah, I've also got. I've put in my notes. Lost interest after the word online. So I guess I stopped caring about that. Then they showed off Skyrim Super Special Edition, or the Very Special Edition, which you can play on Alexa. And I've read on my Twitter feed that apparently that's real. It wasn't a joke. You can actually play Skyrim on Alexa now. That's insane. That's super fucking crazy that we can play Skyrim on Alexa. You know, I've not tried it yet. I've not tried it with my Alexa. Maybe I will. It could be funny. But I don't know. They had a joke. The video for it is very, very funny. If you haven't seen it, I would suggest you go look at that one because that's very, very funny. The whole Skyrim what it plays on and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just very, very funny. Go watch it. I don't want to like spoil the jokes. Anyway, then they showed off the Elder Scrolls Blades mobile. Now this was an interesting one. This was actually a very interesting game. So it's an Elder Scrolls game, right? But it's on your mobile. But it's also on your VR. But it's also on your mobile VR. It's also on your PS4 and your Switch and your Xbox and your PC. So you can play it on anything. And it's just an Elder Scrolls game that you get to build up a town in. That's it. There's like a little roguelike sort of situation that you can do, which is interesting, and then you return with the resources that you got and you build up your town. Looks like a fun mobile game. Looks like something that I'll probably try out on the Switch maybe instead, because that might be more fun to play instead of playing it, assuming it comes to the Switch. I do believe it. I do believe they said Switch. I should have wrote that down in my notes, but I didn't. But it looks very impressive. It looks very like beautiful and very interesting to play. I just don't know if it's going to run on every single phone. They said you should see it run on the latest iPhone. So it's like, oh, I'm not sure I've got 600 quid ready to go, you know. iPhones are kind of expensive. So yeah, it says on the Google Play Store as well. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like seems like a lot of effort, you know. Seems like a lot of effort to go through. I'm not sure how we're going to get up there, guys, you know. Tell you what, we'll do this. Then we'll terror these two guys here. And then we'll execute that so they're dead. Luna can get up here. Haha! But Mara's gonna have to throw Luna first. Okay, right, good. We've done that now. We figured out the hard stuff. So after that, it looked very impressive. I don't think my phone would run it though. Like my phone runs a lot of stuff, but it looked too impressive. You know, my phone would like run red hot. It would like start to melt. So I think you might need the latest phone for that one, which is probably why they're also releasing it on consoles and PC, I guess. Then they showed something called Stardated or something, Star Trend. My handwriting is fucking abysmal at this point for some reason. I cannot read anything I wrote in that entire line. Starfield, I think it was called. But new game, brand new IP. Know nothing about it. They showed no information, so I don't have anything to say. But it's worth watching. It's a Bethesda game, so it's worth looking at. And then they showed off, of course, The Elder Scrolls 6. And I immediately was up. I was sat up. I was at full attention. I was awake. And it was a 26-second long trailer. And it was over. Just showing you the name title. And it was done. That was it. So we know absolutely nothing. But at least we know it exists, I guess. But it's a shame. So that was an exciting moment, but then it turned out to be kind of boring because I didn't know nothing about it. But at least it's exciting to know that it actually exists, and we will probably see that next E3. We'll actually probably see a gameplay trailer for it next E3, and then it will probably release the following year. So I don't expect to see that until 2020, but it's exciting that it exists. Very exciting that it exists, but we know nothing, unfortunately. Then Square Enix began their show. Now, oh boy, was that a waste of time. Square Enix should just not have had a show. They just shouldn't have bothered. They came out the door with... Oh, I'll say that. They actually had something else, but I didn't write it down because I was not interested in it. Final Fantasy XIV and the Monster Hunter crossover event. That's very cool. I'm very excited for that. That's very interesting. That's definitely a video coming up. You know, that's something that's going to be fun when that releases in the summer. Assuming it's not fate grinding again, like the Yokai Watch one was. But who knows? It might be something to do with the hunts in Final Fantasy XIV. I would assume it to be, but maybe it'll be fates. I highly expect it to be some related to the fates. But I think it'll be cool. I think it'd be very, very fun to do, and I'm excited to see the Rathalos in Monster Hunter. And if you are playing Monster Hunter, you get to see the Behemoth from Final Fantasy in there, which is even more exciting. So that's very, very cool. They show off Dragon Quest XI, which looks about as good as every Dragon Quest, basically, from what I can tell. I've not played every Dragon Quest. In fact, I've played very few of them, and I've only cleared one of them. So, but at least it's nice. I might get it. It comes out in September, though, and that's a problem because a shit ton of other stuff that I want to get comes out in September. So it may, unfortunately, fall by the wayside. Right, after that, Babylon's Fall come up. No information whatsoever, just a very, very short trailer, but one to keep an eye out on. Octopath's Traveler, they showed again. That game looks better and better every single time I see it. And I've seen it a lot now. I don't know why Square Enix even showed it to us. I guess they showed it to us because they're like, yo, guess what? This comes out this fucking month. You know, or next month. You should go get it. So, understandable why they would show us that. And then they showed Just Cause 4 again, which we already talked about, so I won't go into that. They showed a thing called The Quiet Man, which as far as I'm aware is an excuse just not to have background music in your game. It's about a guy who can make people lose their hearing and then beats them up. I don't really know. It's a very, very short trailer and disappeared as quickly as it come up, basically. And then they showed Kingdom Hearts 3 again. Kingdom Hearts 3, it was in the Xbox thing. I skipped over it because of no one cares, basically. But because we've seen so much of Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point. It's like, who gives a fuck? It's like people just want to play it. They don't care what it looks like. They know what it looks like. They want to play the game. The trailer looks kind of iffy in my opinion. The music didn't seem to set right with me, and like, there didn't seem to be any feel to like the impact of the game. But I'm pretty sure that's just because of the way the trailer is designed, and it's meant to be that way. When you're actually playing it, it's gonna be very, very cool. You guys already know how I feel about Kingdom Hearts. I don't hate it, but I'm not exactly its biggest patron. You know, I've not played any of the others, so I don't really know what the love is about it. And when I do try and play it, I don't know. I did it for that Halloween video. Remember, guys? It just didn't ring with me. It didn't click. I would like to do. I do want to play them though. That's the weird thing. I want to play them. It just never seems to click when I do. Maybe we could stream them at some point and just go through all of them. But then they showed up for Kingdom Hearts 3. That was it for Square Enix. That was literally it. 30 minutes in and out. They were done, which arguably is a good thing for like a game design sort of situation. But they just didn't have anything to show. I don't know why they even bothered. Right, next up was Ubisoft. Now, Ubisoft was an interesting one. Let's have a look here. What have I got in my notes? Oh yeah, sort out your mix, I wrote in big, bold letters. Microphones were a fucking issue during this press conference. They didn't turn them off in time. That turned out for bad reasons and for quite good reasons, actually. It's kind of spawned a small meme, which is very cute. Which I'll go into in a minute. But their microphones were a fucking mess the entire time. Like, they weren't turning on quick enough and they weren't turning off quick enough. Whoever was behind that is probably fired. If I had to guess. They're probably gone. But yes. So they came out right out the door, Just Dance, of course. Why they show us Just Dance every single fucking time, I'll never know. People know what Just Dance are. You're not getting any more people to buy Just Dance by showing it in a massive display at E3. No one's buying that because they saw it at E3. If they're buying it, it's because they already know it exists and know what it is. You know? That's just what Just Dance is at this point. They had a big musical number, the whole stage full of people. It started off as like a video, and then they crashed through the crowd, you know, doing like dance with a big panda bear, and it's fun. I get it, but it's so not necessary. It's just not necessary. We don't need it, and I know I'm being a fucking whingy pants about this, but it's like I don't care about a dancing fucking panda. I want to see fucking video games, especially when this dancing panda is related to a video game that no one cares about you advertising. Like, Just Dance is great. I will admit, I like Just Dance. Everyone loves a bit of Just Dance, but no one cares about it, you know. And no one's advertisement's not gonna help anyone sell it more either. But okay, in any case, after Just Dance they had done that, they showed off Beyond Good and Evil 2. I have not played the first Beyond Good and Evil. I know nothing about the Beyond Good and Evil series. I forgot that was reverse healing, sorry. But it looks fucking rad. It looks great. I love it. It looks super cool. There's some pig dudes, there's some monkey man, there's some ladies who do like cool ship flips and stuff. It looks like a fucking great show. It looks like a great the advert as well. The trailer they showed it's like a small movie. It's gorgeous. Definitely recommend checking it out. I have no idea if I'm gonna buy it yet because I have no idea what it is. But it looks great. I can't wait to see more of that and get my hands on it. And this is what I mean. Like, so when the Just Cause people left, their mics didn't turn off quick enough, and they were talking backstage for a little bit. And the woman who came on show was saying, we nailed it, yes, we nailed it. And it was like, it was very funny at the time, and it became an instant meme in the chat, and people were fucking hilarious. People found it hilarious. But it was very, very cute. She was very, very, obviously very, very passionate and very, very happy about it. It's very, very cool. And I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that game and see more of it. That's definitely one to watch. And I might even play the original if I see it at some point. I don't know how to buy it. I don't know anything about Beyond Good and Evil, but people say it's really, really good. So yes, after that, Trials. I get it, Trials is a big deal. A lot of people like Trials. I think Trials is quite fun. It's not something that I play very regularly, or if ever, really. But I like the idea of the game. It's quite fun. I remember playing when we used to be in school. There was a website called Miniclips that people would able to have access to on the school computers, because a lot of websites were blocked. But Miniclips wasn't, and there was a Trials-esque game on there, and that's what it kind of always reminds me of. But it's very cool. I like the idea of Trials. This one looks very fun as well. The main bloke who runs it, he drove into the arena on a bike. Something to say about Microsoft, actually. They didn't show a car. They didn't have a car in the arena. That's pretty impressive for them. They showed good restraint there. Good job, Microsoft. You fucking did it. I'm really proud of you for that. And I'm really proud of you for showing Tales of Vesperia. That's really nice. Thank you.
I shall go.
Yes, where were we? We were talking... Oh, yeah. He drove in on a bike. He went up to the crowd, and he fell over and knocked over a TV, a stand with a TV on it, smashing it. It was all a joke, obviously. It was very obviously a joke. And it was obviously meant to break. But he did that. That was all part of his presentation. He claimed to be the Prime Minister of Finland. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. My partner is from Finland, so I guess I should probably know that. But I don't. I don't know who the fuck the Prime Minister of Finland is. So, for all I know, that guy could be the Prime Minister of Finland. He could be very well leading the charge, for all I know, in Finland. And, I don't know, he drove in on a motorcycle and is designing a game about bikes, and he tripped over and broke a TV. So I hope he's not the Prime Minister. But, you know, whatever. And then they showed off DLC for Mario and Rabbids. And, well, we already knew it was coming. They were just advertising it, basically. And they had Grant Kirkhope come out. I love him. He has fucking great music. Great composer. He came out and he was doing a live composal thing with instruments and stuff. It was a Donkey Kong soundtrack. Very, very cool. Not necessary. It's not necessary or needed in the conversation of video games at the time. Music is very, very important. Music is super, super fucking important. Don't get me wrong. It's not relevant to this conversation though. When we're trying to see the games, you know, and Ubisoft just didn't have anything, so they did this instead, I guess. But again, very cool, just not needed. And then they showed off Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was kind of, okay, fine, I get it. This is a prequel to Assassin's Creed Origins, which is weird because I thought Origins is meant to be the very first one, so I'm very confused. I don't know. Assassin's Creed games are kind of all over the place nowadays. So, but I'm sure it'll be great. It looks exactly like Origins. I'm assuming it's going to have the same combat. It looked that way to me. It looked like the combat was basically identical. So, I can't see a problem with that. I'm sure it's going to be great. Here's hoping it's great anyway, at the very least. Here's hoping it's good. But then that was it. That's all they had. That's all Ubisoft had. So Ubisoft didn't really have anything either. They had more than Square Enix, though. That's to be fair. They had more than Square Enix. And then Sony. Now, Sony was interesting. They didn't have a lot to show. But what they did show was fantastic. They showed off a bunch of indie games in between, obviously, their little things. So they showed off The Last of Us 2 to begin with. That's obviously their heavy hitter. That's their big swinger, you know. Like if you had a trump card, they spent it right away, which was The Last of Us 2. It looks fantastic. I cannot wait to play The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 1 is truly a great game. Naughty Dog are one of the best developers of our generation, I guess. And I say of our generation, they're just one of the best developers. Maybe that's the way I should be telling the story. They were the best developer in the PS1 era, or one of them. They were one of the best developers in the PS2 era. Well, I say that. Maybe not one of the best developers. They developed one of my favorite games. And still, with The Last of Us, you know, and in the PS3 era with Uncharted, now on with The Last of Us, all these games are phenomenal. And The Last of Us 2 looks no different, and I cannot wait to play that. Whether we play that on the show or not, I do not know. We didn't play the first one on this show, so there are some really awkward videos from an old show that I was a part of that we played The Last of Us 1 on. They are very cringy, I imagine. You could probably go find those, I guess. I wouldn't, though. I would recommend not doing so. I was very nervous at the time, and it was all very, very cringy. They showed off called Twin Mirror, which I can't even remember. Sorry about that. I wrote it down, so it must be important. But I really, really cannot remember anything about it. I don't think they showed anything about it. I think it was a very, very small trailer that didn't really have anything to show. Then they showed off Destiny 2, Forsaken. I'm into it. Destiny, it's coming out in September again, which is a pain in the ass. Same as Tomb Raider coming out in September. Same as Spider-Man coming out in September. Same as Spyro coming out in September. Same as Dragon Quest 11 coming out in September. Well, we've also got the Destiny expansion. You guys know I love Destiny 2. I wish there was more to it, and this is more to it. So I guess I'm giving them another 30 quid, even though they probably don't deserve it. You know, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for Destiny, I guess, despite me. I don't know. Hopefully this will be the one. This will be the one where I'm finally proven that Destiny is a good game. I don't... Maybe this is it. Or maybe it's not, and I've continued to waste my time. No? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, after that, oh yes, this game looks fucking awesome. Okay, so Ghost, right? Ghost. This game is by Sucker Punch, right? The people who made Infamous. People who made Infamous, the people who, I believe, also made the Sly Cooper games, I believe. Not a big fan of the Sly Cooper games, but I know a lot of people love them. And the first one was really, really good. I played and beat the first Sly Cooper. That was really, really fun. But in any case, Sucker Punch are making this game called Ghost. And it looked like a Witcher / samurai / For Honor sort of, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I want more of that game. It looks so fucking cool. And yes, the only reason I want to see so much more of that game is because I fucking love samurais, and I'm a kind of, if that classifies me as a weeb, then so be it. I love samurais. They're so fucking cool, and this is a samurai game, and I want it because it looks gorgeous. The guy gets on his horse and he rides through these like fields of wheat, and the wind is blowing them, and it looks spectacular, and it looks like a work of art, and I cannot wait to see more of that game. I don't think it's going to come out possibly till next Christmas, not this Christmas coming, but the one after, perhaps. I don't know when it's coming out. That would be my guess. Sucker Punch are generally pretty good with their development cycle, right? Like, I feel like they pretty much crushed it when it comes to developing Infamous, right? So I've got hopes that they'll have that out at a decent time, but we'll get like a really, really good gameplay trailer. We had a gameplay trailer this time. It didn't contain the HUD. There was no HUD information on there. It was purely visual, unless that actually is the game. Because the game itself is purely visual, then that would be really interesting. There was some stealth mechanics and some story that we didn't really get because there was no backstory, obviously. It just looked great. That's definitely one that I'm super excited for. And then they showed off a game called Control. And Control looked weird. So I don't know if you guys remember, because this is quite a long time ago. It's like GameCube era, like, time. There was a game called Sacred Second Sight. There's a game called Second Sight, okay? And it was like psychic, like telekinesis sort of like monsters, and you were also a telekinesis like guy in an insane asylum, and you threw stuff around, right? Like that was the game, and it was quite cool. And at the same time, a game called Psyops came out. Like the same week, both of these games came out, and that was very cool as well. Now this looks like that. They look like them. Like she was like, this woman was creating like walls of bricks and like throwing stuff, and it looked very cool. But just didn't see very much of it. But it looked very interesting, and I'm definitely wanting to see more of that. That's gonna be one to watch. Is gonna be Control. I think that could be very interesting, or it could be very generic. Could be very interesting or very generic. We don't know yet, but I'm hoping for something really, really good. Then they showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 again. Kingdom Hearts 3 got shown again and again and again. Like I said before, all the things that I've said before about Kingdom Hearts still remain. It's like I kind of wish we'd stop seeing it and we'd actually get to play it. That might be nice. But they showed off there is the Pirates of the Caribbean world in it now, which is cool, I guess. I like Pirates of the Caribbean. They're okay films. You know, they're not... I don't think they're bad. Well, I say that. The first one's really good. I like the first one. Second and third are okay. I don't think I've even seen the fourth or the fifth. Is there a fifth? Maybe I dreamt that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. If there's a fifth, I'm very vague on whether or not it even exists. But the fourth one wasn't very good. And so I don't know. I guess that's good. I don't know what's good about I don't know what's good about Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know how to explain it. I'm excited that people who are very excited about that game and very, very passionate about that game get to see and play that game soon. It was pushed back again to next year, beginning of next year, I think. But you know, it's coming eventually. Eventually, you'll get to play it. Like I eventually got my Final Fantasy 15, which turned out to be kind of crap. But eventually, you'll get it. And who knows? Maybe your one won't be crap. Maybe your one will be really, really good. Huh? Imagine that. Imagine if it's really, really good. That'd be cool, right? But anyway, right, then Death Stranding, Kojima's new game. Kojima didn't make an appearance this time. Last year he made an appearance before he showed off his little trailer. And I still don't know what that game is. I don't know, it's fucking crazy, it's wacky, it's Kojima. I feel like that should be a new word. Like, Kojima should be a word for, like, insane, like, just not making any sense. It's like, sorry, can you come again? You're coming out very Kojima at the moment. Like, I don't know. It looks wacky, and it looks like it's gonna be fucking stupid and bonkers and weird, and I probably will love it, right? Like, I don't know. I've not played any Metal Gear Solid games. The game I played, Metal Gear Solid Survive, and I didn't hate it. I wouldn't say it was very good either, but I didn't hate the game as much as everyone else did. I played the Metal Gear Solid 5. Is it 5? The Phantom Pain, which I love. I fucking adore that game. It's so good. And, you know, so they definitely make good games. I would like to play the other Metal Gear Solids. I've just never got around to them. Again, maybe that's something that we could probably stream at some point. If people are interested in watching me play through all the Metal Gear games that I've never played, we could stream them. That could be good. But yeah, so, you know, I'm excited for Death Stranding. I still don't know what the fuck it is. even after watching the trailer with gameplay. I don't know what the fuck it is. Is it a walking simulator? Could be. Who the fuck knows? It was a weird trailer. It was a really, really weird trailer. But there's like invisible ghost bodies, and he has a baby, and it's fucking weird. I don't know. It's just weird, I'll tell you. Then, oh guys, then Neo has arrived. Neo 2. Fucking, I think Neo was like almost one of my games of the year when that game released. That's so fucking good. Neo is like some of the best Soul games ever, and it's not even a Soul game, you know? Like, it's super good. And I'm so happy that they're bringing a second one out. Like, I think we kind of already knew that they were doing a Neo 2. I don't think it was confirmed, but we kind of all knew that a second game was coming. It's a Tecmo game, so of course a sequel is coming. A sequel is always coming with Tecmo. Hopefully they don't shit these out as much as they do the Dynasty Warrior games, because I love Dynasty Warrior games, don't get me wrong, I fucking love them, but there is too many Dynasty Warrior games releasing for me to digest them all. You know, I actively miss Dynasty Warrior games because I cannot physically get through them. Same with the Alchemist games. I burn out on them, on those JRPG Alchemist games. They're really, really good, but I burn out on them, and it, like, I don't know, take a year off, man. Like, they crank them out. But Neo 2, super excited, looking forward to that. I might go back and play all the way through Neo 1 at some point, just because that game is great and just fucking super difficult. Do we want to do this? Fuck it, let's read it. Bad luck. Every fucking time. Why do we even bother? Why do we even bother? But yeah, so I'm super excited for that. Then finally, as Sony's last stand, they showed off Spider-Man, and again, that game just looks better every time I see it. I cannot wait for Spider-Man. It looks fucking great. They showed off, there was Rhino, Scorpion, there was Vulture, and I don't know, some white dude. I don't know who he was. I don't know. But I love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is fucking cool. Despite my horrendous fear of spiders, I have always loved Spider-Man ever since I was a kid. I thought Spider-Man was like the coolest fucking superhero. I very much prefer like the vigilante sort of character now compared to the superheroes. You know, I prefer like Arrow and like, you know, the Green Arrow, like people like that instead of them. But I don't know, I kind of like Flash. Like, I really like, since this TV show has gone out, I've really liked Flash. But the latest series of Flash is a bit of a nightmare. But you know, whatever. That's neither here or there. Point is, I really love Spider-Man. There's a Spider-Man movie coming out soon as well, right? Like, that looks fucking cool. Like a cartoon animated one. Looks really cool. Sorry, I'm getting off track again. Spider-Man looks fucking rad. He's in a prison. There's a lot of web swinging, a lot of like actiony scenes. I'm excited. I'm excited to play that. That's definitely going to be a game that I play in September. I don't think we're going to have it on the show. Probably do a Strife plays for a while, of course, but probably not like a full show on that one, because it's, I feel like everybody's going to be playing that, and we could probably be putting our effort into other things. Who knows? We might still be putting our effort into other things at that point. Who knows how the series is going right now? Because I mean, we're playing Nier right now, and that's fucking really good. And we're playing City Skylines, and then we've got Gundam Breaker coming out like next week or next whatever. Like, that is looking awesome. Can't wait to play that. But yeah, that was it. And that was it for Sony. They showed off Spider-Man, and then they quickly shut the show down. They didn't even bring out the CEO again to talk about things. He just kind of bailed. But like I said, they didn't have as much to show as like Microsoft had, but what they had to show was all good, and it was like all interesting and intriguing. Then Nintendo. Oh boy. Nintendo. They blew my mind. For a start. They came out the door, and they're Nintendo, you know. They're Reggie all up in there, talking about stuff. Then after talking about some few random games, which I wasn't like super interested. They brought up Octopath, you know, that sort of stuff, which we already know are all coming. He showed us a few indie games. They look fine. Then, right, the only thing I've got here that's written down in big bold letters is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming to the Switch this year. December 7th. Just under the wire this year. But this year nonetheless. Now, I'm excited for Smash. You guys know I'm excited for Smash. I love playing Super Smash Bros. I am shit at it. I mean, I am hot, steamy garbage at Super Smash Bros. But I love playing it. And every character. You want to play Pichu? He's there. Every single character from Smash Bros. That has ever really been released is coming back. Every single one of them is there. It's exciting. Every single one from every Smash game. And there's so much exciting stuff to talk about that. So they also showed off Ridley, which is the bad guy in Super Metroid, and people have been asking for him for ages, and it's so cool that he's been added. It's not something that I'm super into, right? I didn't really care if Ridley was added or not, but the community was. The community really cared about it, so I'm really happy that they got that. That's super cool that they finally added Ridley. They've made it possible. They've brought every single character back, which is so cool. You know, I'm like over the moon with their presentation. They showed off all the characters. I think there's still a couple left. They said bringing every character back was a challenge, so don't expect too many new ones. And then they immediately proceeded to show Ridley. So I don't know if that means they got a couple more hidden or not. I don't know. But hopefully they got a couple more hidden. And some new boys. That'd be very interesting. Shovel Knight maybe. That'd be great. But it's exciting, man. They showed off all that. They showed off how the characters differ from one another. They finally admitted clones exist, I guess. A lot of people were getting upset about this. They said Echo characters now exist, right? And people were like, oh, it's a clone, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I know it's a clone, but who cares? Like, they're admitting that these characters are clones. You know, they're admitting that Lucia is a clone of Marth. They're admitting that exists within the game. They just want to... They're just saying, like, yes, it exists, we get it. But listen, okay? It's going to be fucking cool. Because it's just another character model for you to play, and that's fun for me. I like that we'll be able to play another character model, because like my main, if you can call it that, was Lucia in Smash on the Wii U, Nintendo Wii U Smash Bros, whatever it's fucking called. We'll just call it the Wii U, okay? On the Wii U, Lucia was my main. I loved playing as Lucia, and Lucia is still in it, obviously, and of course, she's a clone. She's a clone of Marth, right? We know this. I know this. Everybody knows that she was always a clone of Marth. But I just preferred to play as her. And it's fun that I can still remain to play as her. And this also allows them to add more character models and more characters for people to play as, whilst maintaining it being an easy transition, because they're like, yeah, here we go. There's a character, right? It's an Echo character. I get it. They also revealed that Daisy is going to be an Echo character for Peach. It'll be very much the same. They changed some of the characters, like Link now is Breath of the Wild Link, and he has a few different changes to him. They also have Toon Link and they have Young Link. So that's very, very cool. And I could go through them all, but literally every Smash Bros. Character you can think of that has ever been, has now been. You can still use a GameCube controller for your Switch, which is fucking great. They had a few games after that. After that, that was pretty much the end of the Nintendo thing. It then went to the Nintendo Treehouse, where they had Sakurai on himself, and Sakurai destroyed them, and won 2 games in a row, which is very funny to watch. They showed off some of the maps, a lot of the maps, of the old maps, a lot of the new maps. No, they didn't show off the new maps. I mean, they showed off a lot of the old maps, and they showed off the Inkling stage, I think. So that's cool. I'm super excited. I don't know what else is in it. Hopefully, there's a story mode. I'm hoping that there's a story mode for this, because I love Smash Bros. And I want to be able to play some form of story and not just have like fighting mode. But it's crazy. All the DLC characters as well, even DLC characters, they're all there. So Cloud and Bayonetta, they're still there if you were interested in those people. All their like limit break stuff, and the villager where you pocket something, you can see what they have now. You can see what you always have down by your face. They've adjusted a whole bunch of this little stuff. I do believe it's still using the same engine and the same model as for the Wii U, as the Wii U one used. But that's to be expected. I expected them to use that, since that's probably how they managed to get this out in working order by December. So that's perfectly acceptable in my eyes. I'm excited. Smash Bros is fucking great, and I'm glad it's here, and I'm glad we're gonna get it this year. This year, that's fucking crazy. And the Switch is just continuing to be an amazing machine, just all around thing. Then on the Pokemon Treehouse, which is the very last thing I watched, they showed off Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, some proper gameplay of it, and it looks like it is what I said it is, guys. It's just baby's first Pokemon. It's what it is. I said this back on the Pokemon Quest video. This is not a game that's for us. This is not for the core Pokemon fans, people who are like waiting for Gen 8, or it's not for us. We can still play it, of course. If we're into it, we're into it. That's fucking great. But it's not for us. It's not. They're not building it with us in mind. They're building it with their new people in mind. The kids that are now old enough to play it. It's them. It looks very. All difficulty has been removed. Okay, all difficulty from this game has been removed. There's a lot of cheating going on. It's a bad situation in some cases. Okay, so first of all, there's no wild Pokemon encounters. Like you don't walk through a field and you encounter a Pokemon. Pokemon are just on the field, okay? And you walk into them and you catch them. There was shit like Odyshes and Butterfrees and Pidgeys and all sorts of shit in the Viridian Forest, right? Like shit that shouldn't be there, or at least, sorry, not shit that shouldn't be there. Shit that wasn't there in the original games are there. Your rival's changed. It's no longer Gary. It's a guy called Lance or something. I don't know. Fuck it. Some guy who's really nice to you and he gives you stuff, because of course he does. Every rival's nice and gives you shit now. You can play 2-player mode. If you play 2-player mode, your party seems to be split in 2, and by splitting it in 2, you have 3 Pokemon each, which you could say is a disadvantage, but then you have 2 Pokemon on the field, so it's always 2 Pokemon against 1, so you always have the upper hand of having 2 against 1, which is unfair in my opinion and kind of stupid. It's not a Pokemon game that everyone is going to enjoy. We're still going to buy it. We're going to play it on the show. We're going to give it the old college go, but it's going to be weird. It uses Pokemon Go's capture system. We still battle in full 3D. The environments are all going to be nostalgic, which is really cool. The environments look beautiful. It looks really, really close to the anime. It looks great, right? It looks great. Also, something that I was worried about was the Pokemon Go integration and swapping Pokemon over to the Pokemon Switch game. This has been fucked over, alright? This is game breaking, okay? So the Safari Zone is no longer a Safari Zone. The Safari Zone is now the Pokemon Go Park, okay? So you attach your phone, or your sister's phone, your mum's phone, your girlfriend's phone, your brother's phone, your best friend's phone, whatever phone you want. You hook it up. Those Pokemon now show up in the park, right? Every single one of them, you can catch them. Your Gengars, your Dragonites, your Alolan, Executor, whatever. No Johto, no anything like that. Just the Kanto and the Alolan versions of them can be transferred. But it's just like, you can show them that you catch them, and if it's a very high CP value, they'll be a high level. So it's like, okay, so I have a 2600 Machamp, right? I can go into there and I can just catch that Machamp. It will no longer be in my Pokemon Go, which is worth noting. You will get candies in your Pokemon Go for your Pokemon no longer being there and being gone. So if you catch the really good ones, they won't exist anymore. But like your Moltres, your Zapdos, all that shit, you can find them in your Pokemon Go section and just catch them. Just catch. Done and dusted, And that, in some regard, is irritating and game breaking for an actual Pokemon game. So like I said, it's definitely a game that has been designed for the newcomers. It's a game for, if I was to have a kid, I would get him this because I think that he or she would love it. Like that sort of thing. My nieces and my nephews are going to fucking adore this game.
Ready.
I am probably going to find it great because I'm playing with Pokemon and I have Pokemon coming with me and I get to ride on like an Onix and shit in the game world, and it looks gorgeous. But I am not going to find it challenging. I am not going to find it interesting in that regard. And that's basically it, That's the situation of Pokemon Let's Go. But, whether or not you guys like that or not, I don't know. And that's all I have. That's all I've seen. I know I have to show you. This may not appear on Monday. But the Monday after, Attack on Titan World should return to its regular scheduled broadcasting of every Monday. It might not show up next Monday.
Let's fix you up.
But I don't know yet. It could do. It might do. Nier is going to continue to go up on the show. City Skylines will. Gundam Builders is coming out soon. I don't know how we're going to handle that. So some scheduling might switch around. But I will let you guys know in an Attack on Titan World once I've figured that shit out. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have opinions on E3 yourself, by all means, let me know in the comments below. I've just shouted my opinion at you for the past hour and 20 minutes according to my timer. So you guys shout some of your opinions at me. What did you think of Smash? What did you think of Pokemon? What did you think of The Last of Us? What did you think of The Division? What did you think of, all the other stuff? Fallout, Forza, Battlefield, Gears of War, what did you think of this stuff? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, if you like the E3 special of Attack on Titan World, by all means hit that like. Let me know on Twitter, or by subscribing if you're new, I guess. If you're new, you could be new. You're just watching it because it's an E3 thing. Who knows? If you are, very, very generous of you. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. So, that's it. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to sleep for a day. And then I'm going to get back to work. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, leave a like and a comment down below. They super help me out. And I appreciate you all. Regardless of where you put your clicks. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.